Hello and welcome to IB Times TV. I'm Sally Turner, joined here today with our reporter Christopher Zara to discuss the Rolling Stone cover and the controversy. Now on the cover we have the Boston Bomber. Now is the controversy and the outrage about who he is or the way he's portrayed? Because when I first looked at it, he kind of looks like a rock star.
Yeah, I think that's really what's gotten people upset. It's not so much that he's on the cover because people understand that he's news. I think it's just the fact that it's Rolling Stone #1 and they typically do rock star kind of covers, and then the way they sort of bathed him in this soft light and made it look like an Annie Leibovitz shoot, and he kind of looks like he's a member of the Strokes. People just felt it was very inappropriate.
And the way he is portrayed, like you said, is in a soft light, but no one's really talking about the article. How have they written about him?
Well, the article, from what I understand, is quite good. It's very long. It's a long-form piece, very in-depth, and it's getting a lot of compliments, but I think it comes back to people say that's beside the point. Like the author of the article herself actually tweeted that she was upset that people were making a judgment before they'd read it, and people came back to her and said, well, it's not about your article, it's about how he looks on the cover. That's really what upsets people. So.
And in terms of journalism ethics, has the Rolling Stone crossed a line?
I don't think they've crossed an ethical line so much. It's more a question of taste. I mean, again, they can have him on the cover, he's news, and people understand that. There is sort of an ethical guideline that says you should be aware of the pain you could cause to people who have been hurt by a tragedy. And in this case, you could make the argument that they've crossed that line. But again, it's sort of it depends on your perspective.
And a lot of people are very angry about this cover. They're kind of in a publicity nightmare. So how do you think they're going to be able to come back to this from that?
If anything, I think they're benefiting from it. I mean, they're going to sell magazines from this, even though there's sort of a backlash from some retailers that have decided not to sell it. I think Tina Brown has sort of proven that you can sell magazine covers with these kinds of controversies. They did a breastfeeding one in 2012. But the larger picture here is, for Rolling Stone, is what's happening with print magazines everywhere, and I think that's really going to be the bigger thing for them. People will forget this, I think.
Do you think they're kind of proving that all press is in fact good press?
Yeah, I do. I do think it means that. I think people are talking about them. They're relevant. Everyone's talking about Rolling Stone today, whereas 2 days ago they weren't,
Right, so a successful mission of getting noticed,
yeah.
Right? And in your opinion, do you think it was done in poor taste?
I do think it was in poor taste, yeah. I don't think it was I'm not screaming bloody murder at them or anything like that, but I do think there were other concepts they could have come up with. I mean, this kid blew people up. So, they didn't have to do it that way. They didn't have to glamorize him in that way.
So if you got to design the cover, how would it look?
I think I might have done something a little more abstract. We're talking about the concept of the story was that he was this charming kid who went on to be a terrorist. There's ways you can do that with illustrations, for example, that might have worked to present him as a monster. Something even more creative than what they did, I think, might have worked better. This, to me, just seemed like they were looking for the easy out.
Well, it's great insight. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.